Hello there. My name is Mo with my co-host Corey. We are The Real Guys, and this is The Real Show with two ears. Let's get this trilogy over with. It's time for X-Men 3, The Last Stand. As always, I'm with my co-host Corey. How are you doing today, Corey?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
And as always, you can watch us on our YouTube channel, The Real Show, Real with two e's, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts, any audio platform, we're there as well. Now, Corey, it's been a great journey through the 2000s X-Men trilogy. X-Men 2000,
Yep.
X2, and now X-Men: The Last Stand. You ever watched them back to back before? Seen the whole trilogy?
Not
The trilogy?
not back to back. No, it's the first time back to back.
Okay.
And I remembered bits of it. Similar to X2, I remembered bits of X3, where I was like, oh yes, this bit again. It's Scott on the Lake was one bit. I was like, ah yes, I've seen this bit before. Anything else I can't really remember, to be honest, but there were parts of this that I definitely recognised.
Right. Well, let's jump right into our first. We're not gonna wait a second, Corey.
Yep.
Because just like I'm trying to think of a mutant that teleports, just like Nightcrawler, we're gonna teleport into our first segment. How much is it?
How much is it?
How much is it? Where we ask, what is the box office take of this film? Now, I've had a look. I've got a few sources here, Corey. I've had to nail it down. But with a budget of $210 million, what did X-Men 3 take? The final film in the trilogy, what did X-Men 3, The Last Stand, take?
Okay. Well, it's probably made it again. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't at least make it. X-Men 2 was a fantastic film, as we reviewed.
Yep.
So the trilogy is just on the up and up.
Yeah.
So X3,
double the box office.
X3's got to be like, we're going to go see it straight away.
Yeah.
It's probably somewhere in the 400s.
Oh, hungry 2006 Marvel fans. You're a Marvel fan of 2006. Goodness me.
So yeah, I would say probably somewhere in the 400s. Where in the 400s, I don't know. 420 is double what it got. So
you're infamous for getting this very well, Corey.
I'm gonna say 420 would be double what it's probably made double.
Right.
500 is probably too much. So I don't know. I'm gonna go somewhere in the realm of like 440, 450, kind of middle of 400s ish.
Right, okay. You're saying 440, 450?
Somewhere in that realm, yeah.
Okay. Well, I can reveal to you the answer is... You're right in the 400s.
Okay.
It's 460.4 million.
Okay.
So 10 off...
Did a bit more than I thought.
Off. Yeah, well, 10 million off, I'll say, it's $10 million. You can shave
yeah,
that
that's
off
fine.
day, right? You can shave that off any day. And we've got all the cast have returned. Hugh Jackman,
yep.
And he is... Hugh Jackman, he's back. We've got Halle Berry, we've got Famke Janssen, James Marsden as Cyclops, Rebecca Romijn, and Shawn Ashmore, and even Anna Paquin back as Rogue, who most of them do really really good jobs in this film.
It's really good casting again, really good acting again as well from pretty much all of them.
Yeah. And let's go through a bit of the plot, Corey.
Yep.
Now, this is your arena. What do you think of the story here?
So, obviously this picks up from X2. Everyone is grieving the death of Jean Grey. Mm-hmm. Scott very much more than the others. But they're teaching all the young recruits about teamwork. Logan's helping teach the class. And it really boils down to Scott goes to this lake that I forgot the name of.
Alkali Lake.
That's the one. And it began with an A. And he's hearing Jean's voice in his head, and he gets really mad, and he just lasers for Lake. And then all of a sudden, Jean Grey appears again. She's there. Her and Scott embrace, and then it vanishes. To which later, essentially Wolverine finds her, does not find Scott.
What happened to Scott?
He's gone. Presumably he's evaporated away.
Yes. She was doing the Thanos dusting before.
Yes. And essentially the whole plot boils down to Magneto is missing. No one knows where he is. No one's seen him. Magneto wants Jean Grey, and Xavier wants to like, because essentially she's got two personalities. There's Jean Grey and there's Phoenix.
The Dark Phoenix.
And Xavier wants to control her again.
Yes.
And like block that part away.
Yes.
Which
It's
doesn't
too
happen.
dangerous. Her psychic abilities are too powerful. She can do whatever.
Yep.
Because of the Phoenix Force, which is not a cosmic space force, which it is in the comics, but instead more of a psychic sort of
Yes.
within yourself ability, which can be unlocked, I suppose.
Yep. And there's a lot of
she gets from a space shuttle crash or something like that.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff she can do as well. There's parts we see a flashback with
Yeah.
Charles and Eric.
De-age, CGI de-aging
Yep.
of them. What do you think of that?
It wasn't like the worst. It wasn't great. Like I said, it doesn't look the worst, but it's certainly not the best de-aging thing out there. But yeah, they go and visit a young Jean Grey, and
No.
essentially try and convince the parents to let them go to the school, to which we see a bit of her powers, and she makes everything float. Initially I'm like, oh, this is Magneto showing Jean Grey what he can do, and it's not, because then the water starts going up and it's revealed that no, it's Jean Grey doing everything.
Yes. Even Stan Lee's water.
Yeah, even Stan Lee's water.
Yes. Stan Lee's water flies up, and you go, oh, Stan Lee. He's trying to look at that water. His hose
Yeah.
pipe's going up, you know.
And then the other plot point of this film is the government have just made a complete cure
Yes.
to mutants and are putting it out in full force.
Yes. And Angel's father is the
Yep.
creator of it. We see Angel, a young version of Angel, after that scene, after the flashback to young Xavier and young Magneto. We now see a young Angel, and he's trying to cut off his wings in the
Yep.
bathroom. You know, yeah, I have that trouble in the bathroom too. You know, my wings going out too much. That's what the film starts with, and then we cut to 1993 or whatever year it is. I'm Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise. Number 1. Engage. I realised in the last X2 I did the wrong hand gesture.
Oh, did you?
I did one finger where it's not. He does whole hand. So I need to know to go engage. Or maybe more like this. I'm not sure what it is. No, Mr. Data, engage. That's what you got. That's what you got to do. Got to play the clip again of him shooting the moleholes. That'll do it. Also what I've got into. I don't want to go on a real tangent. But
Okay.
you ever watch those beyond belief factual fiction videos where it's Jonathan Frakes asking you things?
I think so.
Where it goes like, I'm sure you can find a snippet of it to include, but there's like, you ever gone mountain biking? What's the right tip? What do you want to be when you grow up? Do you believe in the power of a curse? Just a bunch of random specific questions. That's what I've been getting into lately. Where
Fair
there's
enough.
like so many seconds of him telling you you're right or wrong, or stuff like that.
Yep.
That's the kind of thing I enjoy. Apart from Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the US Enterprise, all of that. That's also what I like. During my watching of the film, I did make several Star Trek jokes that are in my my notes. I won't read them all out, but that's just the first of them. When he steps out of the car and it's de-aged Patrick Stewart, and the first thing I think of, 1993. There's Captain Picard himself. Rogue turns up during the discussion of the cure. Then
Yep.
Logan and Storm and Xavier are all there talking about the cure, and Rogue walks in looking like a comic self and the jacket and all that, and I'm like, yes, that's great. Rogue looks great generally in this film. In the Danger Room, where they do have a fight in the Danger Room, that's
Yep.
like their sort of, I made a holodeck joke because I was making Star Trek jokes in my notes. The Danger Room is like where they can create a fight or a mission, so they can train basically. And there is an old Sentinel. They're fighting the old Sentinel design, the Age of
Yes.
Sentinel designs, and that big Sentinel head that lands in front of them, because they do the fastball special, which is the Colossus. Is
Colossus.
what his name is.
Yep.
Colossus throws Wolverine, and Wolverine gets his claws, and he lands in the head, takes the head off. We get an intro to Beast
Yep.
as well, and he's the new secretary for mutants, mutant welfare, and they also talk about galactic waves during the briefing, which could be Galactus tears. I don't know what that is supposed to mean,
I guess.
because I always imagined that the Foxiverse was supposed to be all one thing,
Yeah.
like Fantastic Four, X-Men, and oh god, Fox owns one more Marvel property. What was it? I'm not sure. Maybe it was Fantastic Four and the X-Men. I don't know if they owned another one. But they're always supposed to be in the same world, I think.
Yep.
And we have another cameo from Siren, who appears in this, with a lot of them. Even the sort of Kitty Pryde is aged up.
Yep.
And from her cameos in the other two films. But yeah, mutants that are twins also appear in Xavier's sort of study scene, where they're talking about the cure. Moira McTaggart also makes a cameo for the first time in the three films. One of my notes says, that young boy from X2 is back. I don't know who I'm referring to there.
Yeah, which one?
Go. I think I mean the kid with the glasses who was watching that nature documentary.
Right.
Can you remember when Stryker's men break into the house?
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. There's a kid watching the nature documentary, and he turns around, and he's wearing these like little glasses. I think that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I mention that. They put Storm as the new X-Men leader.
Yep.
And I think that is the best decision, because everyone's like, oh, it should be Wolverine. Oh, it should be this guy or this guy. But no, I think it should generally be Storm.
Yeah.
Storm is generally the most competent,
Yep.
most in touch with Charles's vision, and who can generally be the best leader for the X-Men,
Yeah.
instead of, you know, Wolverine or Cyclops or whatever, who's going to fall out when you know, something bad happens. I think Storm's got the grasp of the team dynamic. They're on Alcatraz Island. That's where the base of the Cure is being kept. And then we get Jean Grey coming back, and the Phoenix Force is changed. I put from the space thing into the
Yep.
real world, kind of real, it's in your mind, psychic,
Yeah.
unlocky power. With they've got the Cure from this kid called Leech, who
Yes.
has a power to take away mutant powers.
Yes, I've seen the Beast who walks in.
Yeah, the Beast, and he sees his hand.
Sees his
from a
hand?
fur hand to a real person hand. I put, if that went all the way, would he just become Kelsey Grammer? Is that the natural form of the Beast when he's not all beast up like that, you know? Would Hank McCoy just be Kelsey Grammer?
Yep.
And they have to find Jean Grey. They go to her old house, and there they discover she's back. She's turned into the Dark Phoenix, and here comes the Brotherhood of Mutants, now including such great characters as the guy that can multiply.
Yep.
Multi-Man. I'm sure he's got an actual
He's probably got a name.
Multi-Man. Yeah. He's probably got a name. Well, they're in this church. They're all in this church, and there's a bunch of different mutants, totally different powers, right? There's like guy that can go from big to small.
Yep.
You know. I've just looked him up. His name is Multiple Man.
Multiple Man. Okay.
So I'm obviously great with the names.
Great names.
Psylocke has a cameo in this.
Yeah.
If you know Psylocke, I'm a big fan of Psylocke. I only knew it was her because she has one purple streak in her hair, and I was like, "Is that Psylocke?" And she walks through a wall once,
Great.
so I think that's it. Or she can like teleport, but I don't even know if she can.
Yep.
I thought Psylocke. I know Psylocke is a psychic, but she can also do purple swords. That's what I mainly knew her
Very
for.
nice.
You know, psionic thing. That's why she's called Psylocke. Psionic things like whips and swords and stuff like that. So that's Psylocke has a tiny cameo in this. Arclight also has a cameo in this.
Yep.
And she can she does the thunderclap, and she can do waves, right?
Yes.
Generate shock waves. Ken Leung is in this. If you're familiar with Ken Leung, as many people would be, he is a character called his character is listed as Kid Omega.
Kid Omega. Okay.
And I think he's probably called Spike or Choir or something like that. It basically goes Quills, and he's like a porcupine man.
Yeah, Hedgehog Man.
Yes, Hedgehog. Yeah, thank you, Corey. More eloquently, as Hedgehog Man. In my notes I put, oh no, it's Spike Man. And there is the credits read Kid Omega, but he's more closely to the character Quill, which I think is more better for him.
Yep.
There's a couple of more. There's a few different characters. One of them is called this guy that goes from large to big. His name is Fat, and it's spelt with a PH.
Very nice. Good.
Which is nice and accommodating. There's a character called Spike. You know what his power is?
Is it the guy that has like the Baraka arms?
Yes, he's the guy that has the Baraka arms, exactly. In my notes I write, oh no, it's one-handed Spike Man. One spiking hand man. Because that's all he could do.
Yeah.
And then he can throw them, I guess, and like stab and stuff, I don't know. He's like Baraka, you're right, he is like Baraka, really. And also there's a cameo from he is actually played by Bill Duke, who we all know from Predator.
Yep.
And he's also in Black Lightning, playing a sort of similar character to Trask. And yeah, there's a bunch of really random X-Men characters who just pop up in this, random X-Men mutants who pop up in this. The need for them, I don't know, but they're listed as those characters, so
Yeah.
there you go. Incidentally, we've had 2 Psylocks in the X-Men filmverse, but only 1 Fat, Spike, and Quill. So there you go. I think for every Fat, Spike, and Quill, there is 1 Psylocke
Yeah.
to say. Or Arclight, who had a really weird curl in her hair, if you noticed that.
I didn't actually.
Okay. But of course, back at the house, there's a big fight, and... Oh no, we've not even mentioned the Juggernaut.
Oh yeah, Juggernaut's here.
The Juggernaut, played by Vinnie Jones. Hey, it's me, the Juggernaut. I'm back in this. I'm the wrong guy to be playing hide and seek with. He's full of lines.
Yep.
I could be here all day with my Vinnie. It's me, Vinnie Jones, the Juggernaut. You better watch out, Charles Xavier. I'll have a will with you, sunshine. I'll have a will with you, sunshine. Logan, Wolverine. I'm gonna throw you through a house, son. You better be worried I'll bring the ass down on you. Oh. That's how he sounds.
Yes, this is exactly how he sounds.
Hey, watch out. I'm the Juggernaut. Oh, I'm the Juggernaut. Oh, I'm in a big muscle man suit. I'm Vinnie Jones. Hey,
I need to pee.
I need to pee. You have this costume. I've got a big helmet on. Oh, I'm the Juggernaut. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you really want to get a mutant character over, I don't know if the first lines he should say is, "Are you going to let me out? I need to go to the toilet."
Oh right, okay. Maybe I need a shit. You know, that's what that's what you need to.
Yeah.
That's how you get him over, you know. I need to go for a piss. Excuse me, mate. I need to do a poo. I want all Juggernaut's lines to be sort of toilet, not even toilet humour, but just really over, like, he's busting for a wee
Yeah.
every time he's on screen. You know, I'd love to fight you, Wolverine, but I need to go to the men's room. You know, and that's all of the basis of his lines, basically.
Yeah. The only reason why Juggernaut joined Magneto was because he allowed him to go to the toilet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. However, there's the tragic death of Charles Xavier immediately after this, and he blows up, and then they have a funeral, and they mention the mutant classes doing this.
Yes.
And they go, oh, Jean Grey, she's the only Class 5 mutant I've ever seen. Oh, Magneto and Pyro, you're over Class 3 mutants. I'm like, what are the classes? We've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I mean, if Jean Grey had been Class 5, but like, I don't know, I would assume Magneto, maybe it's because of how he uses it.
What's one spiky hand man? Is he Class 3?
No, he can't be.
No, he's not. He's Class 1.
I thought Magneto would be a bit higher than like Pyro, but
Oh well, Pyro can control fire, and Magneto can control metal.
yeah.
Yeah, but Pyro can generate
I think
fire.
I think
Pyro
Magneto
doesn't
just
need
like
fire.
yeah, Magneto just uses it better.
I guess.
What would Charles
What's that
be
bit on
then?
Golden Gate Bridge where Magneto is launching cars and Pyro is firing fire beams at the cars?
Because like, what would Charles be? Because Charles must be like high up, surely. Like Charles must be a. I don't know what class it'd be. He's got to be a like. If he isn't like Class 5, I'd be surprised.
Oh well. Yeah, Bill Duke from Predator shows up.
Yep.
And I got a bit nervous when Wolverine was fighting in the forest because that's how he died in in Logan. He got impaled by a tree, so you got to watch out, Logan, when you're flying around the trees. Beast just decides to join the team, gets
Why not?
Alfred back. I love that. I love Beast, member of the team. Instead, he can throw it down on the political sphere, but
Yes.
he can also use his claws and like mesh people up, and jump into a crowd of guys and do like a chest thrust. That's what we like to see. During the assault on Alcatraz Island, Jean Grey's just standing there for the whole fight.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's just standing still, and all the mutants run. There was a cute minute where there's the family in the car, and they don't move during the entire thing. And then Magneto turns around to look at them, and this really just locks the car doors, and he just turns and walks away. He doesn't kill them, doesn't turn off the river, just walks away and leaves it. I like that. That's a good moment. There was a lot of very comic book moves in this. Brett Ratner, for all he's known for, actually does show a lot of sort of very comic booky type action and moments where you can almost see the panels of, Magneto throws the car, Pyro lights the car on fire. Wolverine gets into like a tete-a-tete with this guy whose power is growing his limbs back, and then Wolverine decides to kick him in the nuts, and he says, "Grow those back." I mean, is there any reason why I couldn't? But
I mean, yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah. And but the one thing is that guy. I know the guy I'm talking about. The guy that goes,
Yep.
"Come on!" That guy. I love that guy. I just think he's just got floppy limbs because he took his limbs off, and he just grows his limbs back. Iceman finally becomes Iceman.
Yep.
When Pyro, the whole rivalry that Pyro hates Iceman, which is now because one's fire and one's ice. Do you get it? And Pyro's like firing his fire onto Iceman. Iceman covers himself in ice, and then he finally becomes the Iceman from the comics. Does the headbutt signature move, and Angel saves his father.
Yep.
Good moment there, and Beast stabs Magneto with the cure. The whole thing is the cure.
Yes.
Because he rescued Mystique, but Mystique got shot with the cure when he was saving Magneto. And Magneto's, a bit of a heartless bastard. So he goes, I don't care about you anymore because you're human now. But now Beast stabs Magneto with the cure, or as I write in my notes, Magneti, and saves him with and all his mutant powers go away.
Yep.
So now he's like, now I'm one of them. But at the end of the film, he is able to move the chest piece, so his powers are coming back.
He's able to move a chest piece, yep.
Yes. Excellent. Now let's drop X-Men 3: The Last Stand a real rating.
Yep.
Corey.
So, in terms of the other two films, I don't entirely think this film is bad, but I will say that as much as X2 improves on X1, this I don't think improves on X2.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's not bad, it's fine. There are certain moments in it, like you say, Mystique is pretty much gone in this film. Charles dies, kind of. Again, there's another credits thing where someone's in hospital and this woman says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm late," and Charles is just like, "Hello," so he's around.
Yeah, Charles can speak through other people.
Yeah.
So he uses his powers to speak through this one man.
And then there's it with Magneto as well, and he kind of is testing out his powers, still playing chess by himself. So it has moments. It's not as good as the second one, not as good as the first one, but overall it's not bad. So I'm probably going to give it about a 7, 6.5 or a 7, somewhere around there. It definitely can get worse. So yeah.
I was going to go middle of the road and say 5. It does make some decisions that I'm not really happy with. Again, the lessing of certain characters like Mystique, who I really like from X-Men 2000 and X2. What's the one I'm looking for? Starts with an R, but it's like regulate, not regulating, it's a different word to that.
Relegated.
Relegating, thank you. Relegating Mystique to like a background thing and giving her like, she told me where Magneto's hiding space was, but it didn't actually work because it was all Mortimer Man anyway, so she didn't really factor in the story at all, and we never really got an ending for her, but okay, whatever. The Rogue, who just takes the cure.
Just takes the cure.
Bobby, she wants a hug and a handshake and a kiss and whatever. Fair enough. But I'm like, that's a bit of where she could, like, her whole Rogue's thing is, yes, she can't, but she makes it work because she's, like, got her personality. And she's like, She's Rogue in other special ways without having to touch you skin on skin. Why couldn't she? Or it's easy to do, and they don't really try.
Yep.
Bill Duke from Predator goes nowhere.
No.
Does he end up making the? What else doesn't really go anywhere? Oh yeah, Jean is killed at the end.
Yep.
So the Phoenix Force, we got our Dark Phoenix moment, but that was a bit like, we've got to also wrap Magneto's whole arc. We've got to also wrap, not Rogue, Storm leading the team and all of that. So we need to finally end on like a little note for the X-Men. But who's in the team now? What happened to Scott? Scott just died.
Yep.
Okay. Let's end that way. I think things were left behind that I would like to have seen, but there's only so much, without having a 3-hour film. And this is barely 2 hours. This is 1 hour 45.
It's about an hour 40, something like that,
yeah. Yeah. And I think you could have easily gone over 2 hours.
Yep.
And people would have accepted it. It's only 104 minutes. You could have pumped that number up a lot. And people would have been okay. 'Cause it's the last film in the trilogy. Let's make it a bit longer.
Yeah.
Put some more stuff in there. 2 hours, 2 hours 10, probably okay. You could film more of that stuff that I want in there, really. Or that would be necessary. Because the arcs do kind of fall flat, like the Cyclops deal, the stuff with Rogue, Magneto's powers. But I'm not really against it in principle, but just the implications doesn't seem like they thought twice about. I think there are definitely ways they could have improved on stuff. So I will go for a. I'm gonna stick with a 5.
Okay.
I think I'm just gonna stick out of 10.
Yep, that's fine. I would say 5's fair.
Okay. And now to the weekly rec.
Yes.
Corey.
So, I don't think I've recommended this before. After doing this for nearly 4 years now, we might end up with recommended things more than once. I don't believe I have.
Sometimes I think of that when I'm to a weekly rec. I think, I don't know if I've done this before.
But I was going through people who are in X-Men, and I was like, oh, here we go. Okay, well, let's have a look, see what people have been in. Oh yeah, Ian McKellen. Let's have a look what Ian McKellen's been in. That isn't Lord of the Rings. I was scrolling through things, and I was like, oh, actually, this one makes sense. Now, I can't remember if I've recommended this before. I've got a feeling that I have. It's at least been talked about before on the show. I recommend. Came out in 2006. I'm going to recommend Flushed Away.
Okay.
Because Ian McKellen is in it, and also,
yes, he is.
also so is Hugh Jackman.
Yes, well, yeah, of course.
I don't think I recommended it before. It's the story of Roddy, the pet mouse, pet rat, who gets flushed down the toilet by a different rat, and essentially just has to survive. And that's it. It's made by Aardman.
Yes.
It's not one of their more.
Aardman, yes, it's Aardman's.
Yeah.
No.
It's not one of their more overhyped films.
It's Aardman's CGI film.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not the worst. It's probably a bit more for nostalgia for me. I had it on DVD. I watched it quite a bit. But they're both in it. The Wolverine yellow suit appears for like 5 seconds. That's in there for a little bit. Ian McKellen plays a toad.
Yes. Yeah. John Reno is also in it as well, as the Toad's brother, who is French.
Yep. Andy Serkis is also in this.
Yes, Andy Serkis. We did have a circus session with Andy Serkis being in this.
So the cast is great.
Yes.
But yeah, the film's alright. It's decent, I guess. It's fine. I mean, Aardman always can make something out of something even like this, so it's not bad. Again, Aardman have also made worse. Hello, Early Man. Probably. But yeah, so I'm gonna probably give it about a 6, about a 6.5. It's fine. It's all right for a bit of fun. Is it a cinematic masterpiece? No, but it's all right.
Okay. Right, another 5. I reckon you could probably give it a 6 because IMDb have rated it 6.6. So
I mean, yeah,
it's clearly above a medium.
we will give it. Okay, we'll give it a 6.
Right, 6. Thank you. That makes it one better than X-Men Last Stand.
I probably would rather watch Flushed Away.
Yes, yeah, there you go for Ian McKellen and Hugh Jackman. So there you are, boys. All right, let's make it so, and let's wrap on the trilogy of X-Men films from 2000 to 2006. Corey.
Yes.
Any final thoughts?
I mean, the only thing is they made more films after this, and that's when it gets a bit more questionable.
Okay. my final thoughts are.
Yeah, go on.
It's not that these motherfuckers are gonna kill all my lilies. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's the fact that yes, more X-Men films are to come. Will we review them? Maybe. I don't know. I think we're gonna leave X-Men for a bit.
For a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, give it a rest for a little bit. But we can say with confidence that this X-Men series started off the superhero boom of the 2000s, and maybe if it weren't for Fox's X-Men, we wouldn't have the MCU now today. But thank you very much for listening and watching. We have been The Real Show with your review of X-Men 3: The Last Stand. Let's say that number 1, engage. It's a goodbye from me. Goodbye. Goodbye from Corey.
Goodbye.